So to make a lombrichelli, the pasta dough will just need flour and water. I'll tell you the quantities later, no worries. You see the flour is pretty yellow. This is semolina.
Sì.
It's a coarse yellow where flour really hard and pretty, useful to make this kind of pasta. You'll see why later. And then we'll use a butternut squash today. So a pumpkin, just, already diced. Ricotta cheese, beautiful, creamy and milky. Then a little bit of onion, a little bit of black pepper, a lot of Parmigiano, of course, and the beautiful Nonna's olive oil. I want to show you this. We have Nonna's face on top because this is Nonna Nerina, a master of grandmas. Imagine the dark grandmas, they still pick olives by hand. Nonna ancora andata a raccogliere oliva a mano. In November and December, if you want to come and help them, they're gonna harvest olive by hand.
Se vogliono venire a darci una mano,
They
tanto
need help.
complimenti.
They need help. So if you want to come, please do. And you see that the olive oil here is really, really, really green, and not gold. It is because it's new. It's the one that Nonna just harvest. So if you come now, it's perfect. This is
so
perfect.
when it's yellow, because a lot are more golden, right? So the green means it's just a newer.
Nonna dice perché è verde questo olio? Che è successo?
L'olio è verde perché l'abbiamo appena raccolto, è fresco.
It's fresh. So as soon as you harvest the olives and you press them, it's really greenish and spicy and savory. Then it settles down in 1 year long. This is how much it lasts because we use it a lot, no more. So 1 year long, and it becomes golden, beautiful.
Sfoglia si dice, se sfoglia. La cosa va in fondo.
In a dialect we say si sfoglia.
Si sfoglia.
So it settles down and you have this really sweet olive oil. We're famous in our region because our olive oil is really sweet. The same, maybe it's because the legend says that it's because, we have many cherry trees. And also the soil is really, really, sweet too.
Noi qui nel Lazio siamo i secondi produttori di olio in Italia.
We are the second producer in Italy of olive oil here in this region. So we're really famous for it. Really, really famous. Okay, Nonna.
Bene.
So let's start. Ask us any questions about, every step. No worries. Are you ready to start? Are you taking notes?
Yes, we're hungry. We're actually very hungry. Just watching.
Oh, lovely.
Watching the video.
Allora vogliamo cominciare?
So let's start. Lei si chiama Nicole, Nonna.
Nicole?
Let's start.
Nicole, vogliamo cominciare?
Let's start, Nonna is saying. Perfetto.
Let's start. Mangia.
Allora, facciamo una cosa, cominciamo dall'impasto, almeno dopo lo facciamo riposare.
Let's start with the most beautiful thing to watch, I think. And it is, Nonna's dough. Nonna is making pasta dough. Fai con la bowl?
Sì, faccio con la bowl.
And Nonna started doing this when she was 10 years old?
Yes, Nonna, quando ha iniziato a fare la pasta, Nonna? A little bit of time ago.
No, ero proprio piccolina, ho cominciato quasi per gioco insieme alla mia nonna.
She was 10 years old and she started just for fun with her grandma. Okay, imagine that the mother went to work in the fields all day long. And so Nonna had to learn really fast and really early because she needed to make pasta for all the family and help her grandma, And so she started that she wasn't tall enough for the table, and the rolling pins were too big for her, so she uses the broomstick, the wooden broomstick, that they have at house, because it's smaller, thinner, and with the little hands she can make pasta.
Nicole, non è che mi piaceva tanto però, perché mentre mia nonna mi faceva fare la pasta, sentivo le mie amichette che giocavano per strada.
She didn't like it that much then, because she heard her little friends playing outside in the ancient alleys, and she was forced inside to make pasta. Ma adesso
sono soddisfatta adesso.
She can tell that she learned something really precious and beautiful, and so she can share, and she's happy that she learned so
adesso
early.
Devo dire che non ne posso fare a meno. Ogni
now
giorno
she makes pasta every day. She loves it. She loves it. When she was 10 years old, of course, she just wanted to go out and play.
I'm sure. And makes gnocchi and ravioli and tortellini and the whole.
Nonna, qual è la pasta? Tutte, all of it.
Nicole, guarda un po' nonnina, che profilo!
You say you can tell that we love pasta, okay?
We all do. It's a downfall. Yeah, I can't say
Let's
no.
say that mostly we make fettuccine, no?
Perché devo dire la verità, mi piace di fare la pasta, ma mi piace pure di
She
mangiarla.
loves eating fettuccine and making fettuccine. Yes, of
Vede?
course. Yes, of course.
Bene.
So
Amazing.
what we need to make our dough, the quantities are just 1 cup of flour and
sì.
half cup of water to make 2 servings.
Sì,
Mm?
l'acqua deve essere metà peso della farina che usiamo.
The water should be half the quantity of the flour
Sì.
and it should be room temperature. If you want to be super, you know, super professional, you can also use it a little bit warm, a little bit warm. So we
Allora.
have half cup of water and we add
E
on
metto un
top,
gocciolino di olio.
and we add on top before we start 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
Perché rende l'impasto più elastico.
We use olive oil for everything. In this case, it will make our dough more elastic. We
Sì.
use olive oil for hair, ce lo mettiamo nei capelli, on our skin,
no?
when we have a ache, you know, in the
Dappertutto.
ear, on sore muscles,
Sì.
everywhere.
Dappertutto.
Hinges of doors, olive oil
Dappertutto.
everywhere. So now we're
Allora,
gonna
ho
add,
messo l'acqua, ho messo l'olio, adesso mano a mano metto la flour.
and now we're gonna add the cup of flour little by little,
Sì.
while mixing with a fork. Of course, you can use also a whisk, but let's say that with a fork it's easier.
Un po' di farina.
You see that Nonna goes always little by little, okay? She doesn't really like, you know, doing stuff to, you know, in a rushy way. So this way you sure that you mix, blend the ingredients together and you don't have any lumps.
Questo tipo di impasto, oh oddio, fa parte della cucina povera perché senza uova.
So this kind of dough, Nonna wants you to know, it's really from, you know, from a childhood and from this rural area and all the rural areas in Italy, because it's a poor dish. So imagine when you think about fresh pasta, maybe you think about flour, eggs. But imagine that when Nonna was young, when she was little, having eggs at home meant that, you know, you wanted just to sell them, to make some money out of it. You won't eat them. So they ate pasta every day with just flour, olive oil, and water.
Sì.
Something that they always had, you know, at home.
And using a fork is better than a whisk.
Yes,
prefers the fork.
yes, because it's easier to clean. It's easier to clean. And you can check, I think, way better, you know, the texture of the dough that is coming out. Ho detto, tu usi la forchetta perché se usassi una frusta uscirebbe un pochettino
Beh, non è il
pastro.
caso della frusta. in
Better
questo
the fork, you see?
Allora,
So you had mentioned, so in some ways they do add egg in some pastas, but this is just olive oil, water, and
Yes,
flour.
yes,
That's
yes.
it.
Yes, now that we don't leave anymore, you know, like Nonna did when she was young, we can add eggs in our pasta.
Yeah.
You know, it's something richer, more
Yeah.
savory, of course. And we eat it usually on Sundays, Sundays at lunch. But when Nonna was young, every day would be impossible. They, you know, they needed money and by selling the eggs. So
Yeah.
they ate pasta like this every day, every day.
Okay.
allora, a questo punto che l'impasto si è staccato dalla bowl, che non
No. You
appiccica,
see that the dough doesn't stick anymore in a
lo lavoro
bowl.
sul piano adesso.
We can finally move it on the
Con
board
le mani, però adesso vedi?
and work it with our hands. Now it starts the real kneading part.
Sì, è semplicissimo. Adesso però abbiamo bisogno delle mani perché l'impasto va accarezzato.
Now we add a gentle, you know, a generous, amount of flour on top, just to be sure that it won't stick on our hands. And Nonna can start kneading. The movements that she's making, that she's using are really important. Nonna, perché fai questi movimenti?
Perché deve diventare morbido e elastico.
Because that way, by folding, pushing and rolling, she's making it really elastic and pliable. You see that she never presses. It's not as if she's making a pizza. She won't make it flat. Never, never. She always fold the dough
Sì.
and then push and roll.
Giro.
Turn it,
Sì.
fold, push and roll.
E lavorando con le mani, nonna capisce se l'impasto ha bisogno di più farina.
She works just with the palms to make, you know, with her palms to make it smoother. And by working with her hands, she can tell if the dough needs more flour, if it needs a little bit more water, you know, all this kind of stuff.
So
every
here's a
time she-
question. So Barbara asked, do you eat pasta with different red sauces or pestos every day? Every day.
Nonna can answer these questions perfectly because she really eats pasta every day. She loves it. Nonna, con che te la mangi la pasta tutti i giorni?
Beh, diciamo, mi piace tanto il pesto
Pesto, of
Pesto.
course, pesto.
col pistacchio.
Pistachio pesto, she's really into pistachio pesto. You should
Buonissimo.
try it, so good.
D'estate però il pistacchio lo faccio col basilico e pinoli.
Otherwise, the classic, basil pesto, and then tomato sauce, il sugo, and
Sì,
usually also all the vegetables, in season vegetables. So
Yeah.
especially in summer, pasta with zucchini. Now, after, in a few months, it's gonna be time for pasta with artichokes. And with
What about
cacio-
what became very popular here all of a sudden, it's on every menu, is cacio e pepe.
cacio e pepe, no?
Oh, è buonissimo,
yeah.
Nicole.
This is really from this area, from, Roman countryside of Roma. And it is so, so good. Of course, maybe you won't eat cacio e pepe every day. It's really savory,
no.
really strong. But when you can, yes, you just need some pecorino, you grate it, hot water on top, black pepper, that's it.
Nicole, però sai che mi succede? Che io ci metto troppo pepe e mi devo bere una bottiglia di vino dopo.
She said that usually she makes cacio e pepe with too much pepper, and then she needs to drink a whole
Yeah.
bottle of wine, to feel better. Mm.
Why not?
So
That's
quello che
great.
mi
It
prende.
requires a lot of work. Mm.
Yeah.
Perché con l'acqua non va.
Because
That-
imagine that here, in the countryside, in this area, we have many sheep, not cattle, mostly sheep. So yes, we have tons of pecorino, okay, sheep, cheese. So
And
cacio
do you
pepe is
use
really common.
pecorino more than Romano? Like, what's the difference there as far as
Oh,
like?
pecorino romano is the same. It's the
It's the
same
same.
thing. Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's both names. We don't use parmigiano to make cacio e pepe.
Okay, so no Parmesan, just the pecorino Romano,
Just
different.
the pecorino romano.
Yeah.
Yes, the classic recipe wants that. La ricetta classica vuole il
Sì,
pecorino.
cacio pecorino.
Pecorino. Of
Sì.
course, Parmigiano is always a little bit sweeter, less savory, while pecorino is really, really strong.
Right, okay. And if you were doing like a spicy tomato sauce, the araba, like the really spicy, what do you do, red pepper flakes? To get a
Oh, no,
spicy-
just black pepper, just black pepper.
in a red sauce, if you were doing like
In a red sauce,
Yeah.
sorry, in a red sauce, yes.
The red pepper.
flakes,
Yeah.
yes, or fresh one. Or, and then a lot of basil, mostly.
Yeah.
These are the
Ah,
only,
sì.
herbs and spices we add in.
Guarda, oddio, mi ricordo come si chiama.
Nico,
Nicole, guarda che impastino che ti ha fatto nonna.
here it is.
Guarda,
That is bellissimo.
faglielo vedere a nonna com'è.
So you can keep going more and more. You can eat also for half an hour. No worries, because you won't overknead it. But this is already ready. You see, it is super smooth. And look how elastic
Oh,
it is.
guarda.
You see that the prints that I leave tends to disappear and it comes back. It really poof. It's really
Bellissimo.
Wow.
elastic. So when you press on top of it, not aggressively, of course, and you see that it pops back, it means that perfectly done. It's ready. It's
Diciamo
ready.
che questo per andare bene adesso dovrebbe riposare un'oretta, però beh, noi
Usually, it should rest for 1 hour at least, this kind of dough, because, it's easier then to make shapes out of it. Mm?
Mhm.
For now, we just
adesso lo copriamo con la bolla
put
che
it
si è
to rest
svuotata,
for a little bit.
così.
So you can cover it with a bowl,
Sì,
or you can put it in plastic wrap or something similar, as you prefer. Mm?
va
So
bene?
now we let it rest, you see, because we stressed it out, but we don't want it to dry. So in any case, keep it covered. Always keep it covered. Mm? So you saw that Nonna, anytime she folded, she pushed, she developed the gluten net inside in it. That's why it is elastic. And every time she folds, she incorporates air. So we become really light. That's why Nonna's pasta is really digestible. Mm?
Che
Really good for you. La digerisci facile perché tu
Certo,
la lavori.
sì, la lavoro. E se ci
Vabbè.
abbiamo tempo, la dobbiamo tenere un'ora dentro la plastica, no? Ancora meglio. Ancora
And also, the more you let it rest, the easier it is to digest it. So always
Okay.
better, always better.
Okay.
Bene?
Now, since the dough is done,
Sì.
we get ready and we cook our
Prepariamo
pumpkin.
la salsa, giusto?
The
Allora.
pumpkin.
Come prima cosa, sempre un bel giro di olio di palombara.
First thing, a generous amount of Palombaras olive oil.
Nicole,
I love
figlia
it.
nonna.
At least Italian olive oil. Then Palombara even better.
Palombara è meglio di
Now,
tutti.
is that sold? Like, can you buy that olive oil?
Oh yes, we ship it. We ship
ship it?
to the only to the US, but we ship it. Yes.
And where do
Finally,
you buy,
we-
what is that? Is there a website that you can buy
Yes,
it?
on our website, nonnalive.com. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so yeah, we'll add that in the chat, because that's
Perfecto,
must be
lovely.
amazing. Looks amazing.
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah,
This thing, you know, really, believe me, it's the better olive
Quindi
oil,
significa
best
che
olive
tu
oil.
oliva.
Più buono, non è saying, are you telling
Ah.
them that you harvest olives?
amore.
No, I don't. I
Eh,
never answer Nonna's calls when she
Dice
tries
sì
to
a
ask me
nonna,
for help, but you know,
right.
she's the one harvesting olives.
perché lei dice che viene in campagna, ma lei viene a mangiare in campagna.
I'm allergic to olive trees, that's why.
Sì, sì, sì.
So,
Allora,
vai.
ho messo l'olive oil, adesso metto l'onion a pezzettini.
So after we added a generous amount of olive oil in a frying pan, I'd say it's about 2 tablespoons, also free. She adds some onion. You can use the shallow red one, white one. It depends on what you have at home, no worries. And then you just
Bene.
chop it like this.
E la mettiamo sul fuoco alto adesso. Deve soffriggere.
Sorry? No need to chop it finely. We just put it on, you know, high heat to make it fry.
Facciamo soffriggere la cipolla.
Sorry.
And what
No, no,
about garlic? I know we use a lot of garlic here in America. We do a lot of the, we put the oil and then we put the garlic. So you're okay?
Yeah, sorry, but not chop the you know,
Yeah.
the onion so
It's
fast.
strong,
Nonna.
She's not crying, I'm crying.
right?
So yes, usually we don't mix garlic and onion. It's a
No
thing we
garlic.
won't do. Non la mischiamo di solito la cipolla
No, con l'aglio, no.
Some recipes requires, you know, garlic, some others onion, and that's it. This is the only thing that I know. And I know that since pumpkin is sweet, we prefer onion. We prefer onion.
Sì, sì.
It's really an Italo-American, you know, thing to add a lot of garlic. Here, garlic in Italy, it's really strong, really
Yeah.
savory, so we don't use them much. No,
Okay.
only for special occasion.
Got it,
And
okay.
special recipes. So the sound that we should hear at this point is this.
Is it true that, like, how do you feel about the olive oil being in a dark container? Like, or I read something about being in glass and then not being in a, you know, like the glass versus being dark. I just read something recently about that. What is the take on that?
Usually it should be in a dark container. So, you know, also tin, something, you know, canteen, something like that. Or a darker bottle, it's perfect. I don't know if I have another one. Usually our, you know, bottles are darker. This one, we made this light to show you the color, how beautiful
Okay.
is the color when olive oil, you know, is like this. If
Okay.
you buy olive oil, always buy it from a dark container because really the light can affect, you know, its taste. Yes, of course.
And when we're talking about olive oil, because there's so much about, right, every olive oil, you can use it for dipping and they all taste different, right? I mean, you go to different restaurants, different, and there's such a distinct taste. When you like an olive oil, you're like, this is the best olive oil I've ever had. So Barbara had asked, you know, do you ever use extra virgin olive oil for recipes? So the difference there between the EVOO and, you know, all that.
We use all the extra virgin olive oil, you know, because our is extra virgin and we have, you know, we produce it. So in this town, really, it's considered a shame if you go to a grocery store and you buy olive oil. You should produce it by yourself. So we're really used to it. It's extra virgin because our olives are, you know, of a certain type. We harvest them only here. We can press them all in this town. So the origin is checked, protected, you know, controlled. And everything is made here. This makes it special. That's why.
controllato.
That's why.
E poi gliel'hai detto che noi la raccogliamo l'oliva il giorno e la sera la maciniamo subito.
And when you pick olives, you need to press them in the same mix a day. So it's really, really fresh. There are all these little, you know, things that make your olive oil really special and extra virgin. Of course, other types of olives, the one, you know, olive oil, the one that you find in grocery stores, maybe they have a mixture of olives. That's fine. You know, maybe they're from Spain, from Turkey, you know, and but ours is just from here. This is what, you know, makes it special. Okay,
Nice.
so
Allora,
Nonna.
La nostra onion ha soffritto, adesso nonna mette la...
Since the onion smells a lot, it's really good and it is golden now, we add on top a pumpkin and a little bit of water. And a little bit of water.
Sì.
About half glass of water.
Poi mettiamo un po' di sale.
A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper and poi the baby.
Beh,
Giusto?
certo, sempre un po' piccantino, no?
So it's super easy. We let the onion fry, you know, for a little bit, and then we add pumpkin, then a little bit of water, half a glass, pinch of salt, pinch of black pepper.
E la facciamo appassire sul fuoco piano piano.
Now the flame, the heat should be on low heat, low medium. And we let it go until it becomes soft.
All'inizio nonna mette un coperchio perché comincia a bollire.
At the beginning, in the beginning of the cooking process, Nonna will use a lid because she wants to be sure that the pumpkin will become soft easily. That's it.
Bene?
Okay.
Tutto bene, Nicole?
Yeah.
Dice, possiamo fare questa ricetta, Barbara, con altre verdure? Yes, of
Certo,
course.
certo.
Yes, of course. I mean,
Certo.
Barbara, you know, ricotta cheese is really sweet and versatile, so you can make it with everything you like. I'd say zucchini will do
Quello che
perfectly
ti
with
piace,
it.
col
Yes,
funghi.
mushrooms, but
Adesso s'inverno
also
con i broccoli.
pepper.
Broccoli.
Oh, broccoli.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli this winter. Yes,
Sì, sì.
yes.
Sì.
Okay.
Con i
So,
piselli, qualsiasi
With peas,
cosa.
with everything, with
Qualsiasi
everything.
cosa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mentre aspettiamo che la nostra pumpkin che comincia a bollire, mettiamo l'acqua.
While we wait for our pumpkin to cook, we get ready with water. Now, talking about water, you see how big it is, this pot? Pasta needs a lot of water. So we need a big pot. We fill it halfway or for 3/4. I think it's like a gallon of water. And then we put the lid on top and we put it on medium flame, medium or high. It depends on how strong your stove is.
Bene? Poi.
And that's it. Just water.
And we
Can you hear
froze.
me? Can you see us?
Yeah, we froze a little bit. You're frozen right now.
Oh, we frozen. We try to see, you know,
Okay.
okay. We just, you know, we disappear a little bit, but then we're back.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry.
fine. That's fine. It's always not a Zoom without a Zoom glitch. That's the beauty of live. Yeah, there we go. We knew that was going smooth. And hopefully they'll come right back on here and this is when they're secretly replacing the pasta, right? Let's see. Hold on a second. So we have the large pot. Hold on and we'll get them right back in here. It's amazing. I mean, it's really something. I wonder if she can understand what we're saying, but I know she doesn't speak the language, but maybe she understands a little bit of it. She does these all the time, these lives. So they've been doing it since 2017, I believe, that they've been doing these live cooking. And if you go to Italy, you can do them live in person. I believe they have the classes in person as well. So we're just going to try and get them back here.
I think they're coming back in right now.
Yeah, okay.
Can you hear me?
I could hear you. We just
Oh,
the camera-
lovely.
There we go.
Oh,
There we
we're
go.
back.
Oh, you're back. And let me just ask, you do these live in person in Italy as well, by you, live in person classes, yeah.
Yes. I want to tell you a lot of stuff about it, you know. Dice che come le facciamo le lezioni online, the persona,
sì,
we
sì.
have a lot, you know.
Sì.
In the meantime, Nonna, we make a lombrichelli and then I'll explain everything to you. Nel
Okay.
frattempo per lombrichelli lo spieghiamo, giusto?
Certo.
So to make
Io penso
lombrichelli,
deve cominciare a fare, tanto quello si deve cuocere.
because, you know, the water is on, you know, it's on the stove. So we start making them. It's
Allora.
mesmerizing watching Nonna making them and I'll explain everything to you.
Allora, questo è il mio impasto. Prendo un pezzettino di impasto.
So this is the dough, okay? It should have rested a little bit more, of course, but that's fine. You know, we can work on it just now. She cut a small piece.
Sì.
See how small it is? This is my palm, really small.
E
And
comincia a
now
rotolare.
she starts rolling it,
Una cosa-
rolling.
Importante, il piano deve essere pulito, senza farina.
To make this kind of pasta, to give shape to your pasta,
Libero.
you need to work on a board that is now completely without flour, without any
scorre.
trace of flour, no flour at all. Mm?
So this pasta particular is called bucatini? What,
Lombrichelli. It's really, you know, really a weird name. It means little worms.
the worms, okay.
Not really, you know, tasty, you know, the name, but believe me, it's wonderful. Yes, lombrichelli.
I mean, there must be such a different skill to make so many different, you know, you have linguine, you have fettuccine, I mean,
Yes.
you know,
I mean,
the
once you
angel
know-
hair pasta, thin, you know, you have so many different shapes and ways. You have
Yeah.
to really master that. Yeah.
Once you know how to make the dough, that's perfect, because once una volta si fa l'impasto è sempre quello. The technique is always the same, eggs, no eggs, but always the same. Then you need to specialize, the different cutting technique.
So when you're doing something like, I mean, this is off topic, but when you're making like a fusilli or, it's squiggly, right? It's like round. So do you use a tool to wrap it around
You
and that's
need
how
to
you get
use
it?
special tools, special
Yeah.
tools. Now we'll introduce to you the special tool from today. Noi facciamo vedere lo special tool di oggi, quello che usiamo oggi.
Certo. Allora, io ho fatto questo tipo di grissino un po' truffino.
Nonna made a stripe this small, you
Sì.
see, really, really thin.
Faccio dei pezzettini adesso.
Sorry, and now she cuts it in small pieces.
Bene. Poi
Small pieces. And now it comes the famous tool.
questa
Ta-da!
tavoletta rigata.
We need this striper. This is a gnocchi striper, you see? We call
Yeah.
it like this. It's
Bene.
really just, a piece of wood with, lines on top.
Metto questo pezzettino sulla tavoletta rigata.
She puts a little piece of pasta on top of it.
Poi
And then
o
she,
con questo o con un coltello
with a bench scraper or a knife,
faccio
she
questo.
just roll the piece on top of the
Guarda,
striper.
picca.
Yes, and she's gonna have stripes.
Opla.
Ta-da!
Oh, wow, look at that.
Bello.
Guardalo che la nonna come è bello rigato.
This is why we say, this is why we say, here it is. Oops, sorry. That this looks like a little worm. That's how the name comes from, you see? But it's really cute, really, really cute.
That is something, yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of effort that goes into, I mean, just because you have to do this for each piece, for a lot of pieces.
Yeah, a lot of people, una marea di due di lavoro, dice, li fa tutti i pezzi, uno per
Sì,
uno,
sì,
per uno.
sì, sì.
Fammi un po'.
Diciamo, uno quando fa questo tipo di pasta lo fa per amore, per i familiari, se no non lo fa.
When you make homemade pasta, you do this for love. Okay, it's an act of love. You do this for your family or friends. So that's why, That's why, That's why
I'm
you
telling,
make
yeah,
those
this is, I
pies.
never really thought about where the ridges come from, how they get that. You don't think about those things, right? And here you go. That's beautiful. I mean, that's piece by piece. That is like artwork.
Piece by
like
piece, yes. Yes, so maybe cutting fettuccine it's easier because you have this stretched pasta. I want to show you Nonna's rolling pin. Nonna uses this rolling pin.
Sì.
Wow.
This is a huge rolling pin, you see? And Nonna stretched the pasta and then she rolls it and then she cuts, she unravels and she has fettuccine. So of course it will take a little bit less. To make lombrichelli, cavatelli, trofie,
Sì.
fusilli, as you say,
Orecchiette pure.
of course, you need to be a little bit more patient.
And
That's
what
fine,
is
that's
Nona's favorite pasta to make? Like which
fine. Nonna,
type?
qual è la pasta che preferisci fare?
Beh, diciamo la fettuccina perché mi
Fettuccine.
rilassa
She
tanto,
loves
mi
making
rilassa,
fettuccine.
rilassa la
Because she
fettuccina.
has a special technique. She wraps
Sì,
pasta
sì.
on the rolling pin and she caresses it with both hands,
Sì,
like
sì.
this, to stretch it, to make it thinner.
Mm.
Mi rilassa tanto.
Nonna, questo qua da dove viene? Di un po'.
Ma questo diciamo che il primo era il regalo di nozze.
Nonna is saying this rolling pin she received it for the wedding day. Imagine that when Nonna was young, it was really common here to have still women dowries.
Yeah.
So she
Mhm.
received the rolling pin, the board,
Sì.
the clothes,
Era la dote.
towels, sheets, all that kind of stuff. And so, she learned really early to make pasta, also because she wanted to marry.
And that rolling pin is like a weapon. I mean, that is bigger than Nona. I mean, that's a big,
Fagli vedere come lo usi. Ha detto questa è
I mean,
l'arma.
that's
Look at
something.
this.
Look at this. You don't want to get Nona upset. Nona's gonna coming after us with that rolling pin. We're in trouble.
But then, yes,
Fettuccine, ma pure a nonno.
But also-
Sì, a nonno.
to grandpa mostly. Grandpa, yes, a lot, was attacked
Yeah.
many, many times.
L'ho usato
Nona come
pure.
running with that rolling pin. Forget it. It's over. Let me
Yes,
ask you
yes,
this,
yes.
what, so the tool that she's using, what is that called? If someone was gonna go and look on Amazon or somewhere to find it in an Italian delicacy shop, what is it called?
I searched for it and gnocchi striper will work. If you
Okay.
find for gnocchi striper, we'll write it in the chat. Filo, puoi scriverla?
Okay, yeah, I'm sure Amazon or something, I mean, here in America, everything is
G-N-O-C-C-H-I,
Amazon.
gnocchi
Yeah.
striper.
No?
Sì, sì, tu fai.
Okay,
We call it riga gnocchi. It's the same. It translates to Italy making stripes on gnocchi. Super,
But
super
gnocchi
easy.
actually is potato, right? It's more, but there's
Yes.
potato in it.
Because, you know, here in Italy, especially down south, they make stripes on gnocchi. So gnocchi are made with potatoes, flour, and eggs mostly, or no eggs, it depends. And then you have these little, you know, little balls, little small gnocchi, and you roll them on top of it to make stripes. That's
Okay.
why that's where the name come from. But we use it also to make lombrichelli, garganelli, or that kind of pasta with stripes
Dico
on top.
Nicole, se vuoi vedere i cavatelli, ti faccio vedere.
Or would you like to check also on how Nonna makes cavatelli?
Cavatelli, Nicole?
It's
Yeah,
similar. Similar.
okay.
Annie?
È giusto? Perfetto.
So this is cavatelli.
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 Mhm. Ma perché c'è
Look at how
sempre-
gorgeous those little worm stripe, the pieces are. It's amazing.
Yes, now to
Oh.
make cavatelli, she cuts smaller pieces. You see, also a
Allora.
little bit thicker.
Prendo
Yeah.
il pezzettino, vado con 2 dita,
She puts 2 fingers on
Due.
top,
vado, spingo e blu blu.
push and
Oh.
roll backwards.
Eccolo.
Cavatello!
Oh my God, look at that. That's
Si chiama
amazing.
cavatello perché si è scavato.
The name cavatello comes from the term cavato, that means hollow inside. You want to make an indentation. That's what you want to make. So this sauce you're making will go inside, you know.
So how do you do a shell? How do you do a shell? The same way?
A shell? Oh, what is shell? Because, you know, names are different.
Oh,
you know,
Yeah, like, you know, when you, a stuffed shell with the ricotta inside and then they
the
make the
ricotta inside. Oh, that one, you know, you need to stretch pasta. Then you
And
cut
then-
your small, you know, squares or
and then
triangles.
make it.
And then
okay.
usually you roll them on the gnocchi striper again. Yes.
Okay.
Almost
And
the same way
tortellini
you
must,
make
and tortellini or even a ravioli, right? Because that you have to knead the ends and then the tortellini you have to
Yes.
twist, I guess. 'cause you're
Tortellini are
cutting
so
a bit-
hard to make.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are more intricate.
Really, really hard to make. No, nei tortellini quanto sono difficili da fare.
Beh,
Tortellini requires a lot of experience.
devi
I
avere
mean,
parecchia pazienza.
lombrichelli and cavatelli, you can try. It's easy. Try. The more you do, the more, you know, the shape will, you know, will work.
Yeah,
Tortellini, you need a small pinky, and then you need to close them, you know.
to
it's
close
hard.
it, right?
Sta tranquilla. Mhm.
And what about like a ditalini, like a little tiny,
E
small?
quelli ditalini?
I didalini.
Oh, yes, you need to make really small squares. I mean, the one that you buy, of course, they're made by machines. It's easier.
Yeah,
But here, oh, you make them a bit really small, really small.
yeah. And what about pastina?
E la pastina, nonna,
Beh,
oh,
la
nonna is really
pastina,
famous for making
però
that.
quella con le uova la faccio.
Pastina is made with eggs, different
Okay.
from the Italini, eggs in it. You cut your fettuccine. Imagine that you have all these stripes, and then you turn the stripe the other way, and you cut small squares from the stripes of the fettuccine. That way you have pastina. And Anna is really brave at doing it. Really great. Yes.
L'inverno la faccio sempre perché mi piacciono molto le zuppe di legumi.
She loves making legume soup in winter, and so she makes a
Sì.
lot of pastina for legume
Did you
soup.
do like escarole and beans? Is that a
Beans,
big
yes.
one? Yeah, the escarole?
Chickpeas,
Yeah,
yes.
escarole and beans. Yeah.
Lentils too, we use them a lot. We, you know, in this area in central, you know, Italy, we produce a lot of legumes too. So we eat them
Yeah.
a lot. We like them. Yes.
Amazing.
Also, I wanted to tell you about, you know, a story, you know, and how
Yeah.
things, you know, worked here and how they started. Tell me if it's okay, you know, I'll just go and
Yeah,
explain.
go right ahead. Yeah.
Donna, com'è nata tutta sta follia?
Di queste lezioni.
Sì.
Come è nata? È nata che Chiara voleva fare un lavoro, voleva trovarci un lavoro, gli è venuta questa idea con la nonna.
So, you know, Chiara, my cousin, the smart one of the family, she's not here today because she's lucky, you know, she's in San Francisco now. So, you know, she's there, you know, for work. And in 2017, she had really a rough here when, you know, she was feeling not so well. So she came back to grandma, of course. And here, you know, must know that grandmas, when they know that grandchildren are feeling sick, they just make tons of pasta for them. So Nonna Nerina was making for her so much pasta. And in the meantime, she was telling stories from her childhood, from her, you know, life. And Chiara thought, it's so beautiful what I'm living right now. I need to share this with other people. And so she just posted on Facebook, you know, who wants to cook with my grandma?
Mhm.
And people really answered. So it started like this. And the most amazing thing is that Nonna Nerina, she was 82 at the point, 82. She thought, she said, yes, why not? Let's open, you know, our house, the doors
Yeah.
of our home, and, you know, bring people in. And so they started reading Nonna Nerina's house, only the two of them. After 1 year, things became so busy that Chiara really asked for the help of all the family. Okay, she really forced all the cousins who can speak a little bit of English and say, please come and help me. And then they called Nonna's cousins, Nonna's sisters, friends. We have some grandmas actually knocking at our doors saying, you're making pasta and you didn't call me. I'm really
Right.
good at making it. Why you didn't call me? So, you know, it started like this.
That's
And
great.
so mostly we started with face-to-face experiences, vero? L'esperienza di persona.
Diciamo che poi questa idea di Chiara che ha creato molto movimento a Palombara e porta molta economia, si
So
può dire, no?
this is not a touristy town, non I saying. So,
Palombara ha mai visto tutta sta gente.
so imagine that, you know, people now are used to see tourists here, you know,
Sì.
from time to time. And they're
Yeah.
like, wow, you know, it's beautiful here, but we can't see it because we used to eat. So people come here, we make pasta together, we eat all of it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So
And
when
then
you're making,
pandemic, we had to close. Everything is closed. So
right.
Chiara, she's always smart, and she said, let's do this online. Why not? So can you imagine grandmas? They said to them, okay, let's do this on Zoom. And they said, what's Zoom? What are you talking about?
Ah,
So slowly, you know, after a little bit, they get used to it. And now you see Nonna is really, you know, at ease with the cameras, with Zoom and stuff. The beginning, she didn't realize that there were people cooking
Yeah.
along with her on the other screen. So she just, you know, cooked really fast.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
alle prime lezioni mi sentivo parecchio imbarazzata, non sapevo come muovermi, adesso non ne posso fare a meno invece.
she was also really shy, she's saying. She's afraid of the cameras. Now she can't live without it. She loves
Right.
being there, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you get very used to it. Yeah. It's amazing, really, what
You
it's
see,
done.
she's really, you know, she's
Everybody-
really Nonna, si
Adesso-
vede, si vede.
Adesso un giorno che non mi chiamano ci vengo da sola.
Nonna say now if we don't call her to come here and host classes, you know, with us, she just come, you know, and say
Me
hello.
presento
Why
da
not?
sola.
Why not? Yeah, imagine the older grandmas now, they have, you know, I mean, not that young grandchildren, okay? Maybe they're 10, 11. And so, you know, they have a lot of spare time,
Yeah.
spare time. So, you know, they have a lot to do now. Mo c'avete una
Yeah,
marea di roba da fare.
yeah.
Mo vi lasciate in
And let me
pace.
ask you this, so she's keeps going, but they're when you're serving, let's say, a family of 6, 4, I mean, how much do you know, like, when do you know the amount to make? Because she's just cutting and piecing and, you know,
It's a lot. You know, with grams, it's easy because we know that to make pasta for one person, you need 100 grams of pasta, of flour, 100 grams. It should translate in about half a cup, something like that. And imagine that for that, you always need half the quantity of the water. So it's easy, you know, to arrive to the
Yeah.
right, you know, ratio. But it's a lot. For a family of 6, it's a lot. But Nonna, when she makes pasta like this, she serves like 15 plates of
Oh my
pasta.
God.
It's a lot.
and if you
Nonna,
make
questa
ex-
pasta fa per tutta la famiglia.
Tanta.
and how long does it last? Yeah.
Tell me.
How long would the pasta last? Like, if she doesn't cook all this today, does it last?
You can freeze it. You can
Yeah.
easily freeze raw pasta super easily. You put it on a tray with a little bit of flour, and then you put it in the freezer, and you can eat it also, you know, in 1 month. Why not?
Okay.
Yes. But usually, you know, we don't have, you know, a lot of leftovers.
Right,
We're
I'm
a big
sure.
family. We're a big family.
And let me ask you, so for the grandkids, how, like, do they make the pasta along with Nona and things like that? Is she taught her own, like the way she when she was 10 and they taught her?
I let her tell this because, you know, she's the most amazing grandma. Nonna, voglio sapere, coi bambini, tu però coi tuoi nipotini
Sì.
la fai fa la pasta.
Infatti quello stavo dicendo. Io ho 3 nipotini,
She has 3 grandkids.
quando vengono a casa, diciamo, lo facciamo tipo per gioco, li faccio fare
Usually
la
they
pasta.
come, you know, to Nonna's house after they finish school, so in the afternoon. And
Okay.
she wants to let them play. She doesn't want them to be, you know, on a screen, you know, all the
Mhm,
afternoon.
Sì.
So she takes out, you know, she usually takes out flour, water, or eggs,
Sì.
and they make pasta together. They make pizza sometimes, they make pasta.
Frangeli, chi la fa?
Sì, sì.
Cosa facciamo di Nicole? Nonna Lalla col cuoricino.
You
me l'ha
see that
fatto
on the, oops,
Marco.
Oh,
on
wow.
the striper, one of our grandchildren, you know, wrote
Nipotino.
Nonna Lalla with a little
No,
heart.
poi si è disegnato
Oh.
l'ombrighello.
And you and
Ombrighello.
Marco also tried to draw, you know,
A piece of pasta.
to
Ombrighello.
draw a lombrichello. This is
And
the
how old are the
attempt.
grandchildren?
Grandchildren, yes.
How old are they?
Ah, how old? No, quanto sono vecchi questi vecchi? Sono giovanissimi. They're, you
I
know,
bambini.
7
8
years
anni,
old.
8.
Okay.
8 already.
8 anni.
8 years old. She has 2 twins, boy
Oh,
and girl,
yeah.
and then another one. They're all of
Wow.
the same age. All of the same age.
Sì.
And the boy enjoys cooking the pasta too? He likes to
Oh,
make, yeah?
Yes,
Loves
of
it.
course, pure ai ragazzi piace fare la pasta.
Sì,
Sì.
sì.
They love it. They love it. This is the most beautiful thing about the fact that, you know, with emancipation stuff, and now everybody can learn how to make pasta. When
Amazing.
Nonna was young, only the women. Only women.
Sapevo solo una
Yes.
cosa,
Only
Nicole.
women, right? That's great. Wow.
Quando sto sola, io a casa che sto un po' giù, mi metto a fare la pasta. Aspetta. Però mentre faccio la pasta mi faccio una picchierella. Finita di fare la pasta, io non capisco perché mi sento rilassata. O è stata la pasta che mi ha rilassato o il vino.
Nonna is saying, and when she doesn't have, you know, grandchildren with her, she makes pasta in any case, because, you know, every time she feels a little bit lonely or a little bit, you know, sad, she starts making pasta. This is, you know, it's self-care.
Therapy, yeah.
And usually she makes pasta and she has, you know, a glass of wine, and she can't tell if it's the wine or the making of the pasta that make her, you know, makes so happy, so happy. Sono entrambe, both of them,
Infatti.
both of them, I
Sì,
think.
aspetto tutto.
I'm sure, yeah. And what, do you prefer red wine, white wine, Pinots,
Come?
Cab,
Come
everything?
preferisco?
Dici, nonna, dici la verità.
Il vino? E per me o bianco o rosso, basta che vino.
It's the same. She loves wine. And if you go to grandma's house, if you come in Palombara and you visit her, usually, you know, she can, you know, she just give you aperitivo. So prosecco, spritz. Every time I visit Nonna, she makes a spritz for me. And she say, let's, you know,
Yeah.
eat and chat a little bit.
Wow, that is.
Nonna wants to know, all of you, what do you think about Nonna's lombrichelli? Look at that. Fra, ci fai una drink.
Bellissimo.
Look
Beautiful.
how
Look at
many.
that.
Grazie, Nicole, grazie.
That is
Nonna, danno
really something. Look at
I
that.
thumbs up. I pollicioni all'insù. And you see, it's a lot of work. It's
It's
a
a
lot of
lot
work.
of work. It really, no one thinks about it. They just get it right in their stomach. They get it served and that's it. No one thinks about how it's actually made. I mean, when it's done homemade like this, it's amazing.
Yes, this is the sad story about grandmas. You know, they, you know, really in the morning, they, you know, wake up early, like 6 a.m. usually when they need to cook for all the family on Sunday. And there is a lot of work. Then we just arrive, we sit and we eat all day done, you know? So maybe we need to help them a little bit more. Forse vedremo aiutare un po' di più quando fate tutta questa pasta, nonna.
Voi nipotine, ma voi siete furbe, intelligenti.
Nonna, I think that we're really smart.
Sì.
We just appear when pasta is ready, you know?
Right.
This is what we usually do.
Now, does Nona understand any English or does not does she I know she doesn't speak it, but does she understand it a little bit or?
Nonna, vuole sapere, ma tu lo capisci mo un po' l'inglese? And I always ask her because I realized that at the beginning I needed to translate everything. Now maybe she knows, you know, the different steps of a class, of a lesson. So, you know, she gets something. Capisci qualcosa?
Diciamo che adesso mentre tu parli, io ti guardo attentamente, riesco pure a capire dai gesti che cosa stai dicendo.
She can understand from my gesture, you know, some words that you're saying. When you say red wine, white wine, now she knows that it means vino, of course.
Okay.
So, nonna, quali sono le parole che conosci, le più belle? The words that you prefer?
Quelle che ci cucino, la farina, le uova.
Flour, eggs, garlic.
Conosco solo questo.
Sì, no, now.
Beautiful pure mi piace.
Beautiful. You know, beautiful and all the words related to food. Almost all of them. Almost all of them.
Ah, thank you pure.
Thank you.
Mi piace thank you.
And that I noticed that the cubes, the pumpkin cubes, they take so long to how do you know the soft?
Come
you have to
fai
test it out, but
Cosa?
La zucca, come
Perché
fai?
si è ammorbidita, no?
I'll show you.
Oh, mo la prendo.
No, tu fai, io faccio io.
È morbido, adesso lo aspettiamo.
Brava, Nicole, because you reminded us of
Right.
it. This is how you check. You take a fork, you
Yeah.
pinch. If it goes through, perfectly ready. Perfectly ready.
Sì.
So at this point, you can just turn the heat off.
Okay.
That's fine.
Importante
That's fine.
col coperchio, se no si asciuga subito e si brucia.
If you do this with the lid on top, it's easier. You won't
Sì.
burn it, of course. So low heat, the lid on top, and the steam will make it always softer and softer, but without burning it. So
Ecco fatto,
it's easy. Let's say that usually takes, yes, if the pumpkin is fresh, at least 10 minutes, of course. Yes.
And let me ask you, so when Nona makes like a red sauce, like a fresh tomato basil sauce, there's people in America, people here, they add sugar to cut the acidity. Does Nona add any sugar in her red sauce or no sugar?
Nonna will love this question.
Dimmi.
Nonna, ci metti lo zucchero?
Dove?
Nel sugo?
Un pochetto sì.
She loves adding a little bit. You know why? She always check first. I mean, if the tomatoes are perfectly juicy and sweet and it's so good, perfect. Sometimes tomatoes, September, October, they're lessening, no more too much in season. So they're a little bit more acid. And she correct this, adding just a teaspoon of sugar.
Ce lo metto perché leva l'acidità del pomodoro.
Teaspoon of sugar, really a small quantity.
Sì.
So here's all Nonna's pasta.
Wow,
look how beautiful.
Wow. That is
every
really...
time you make pasta like this, always put it on a plate with a lot of flour or on wood or on a towel, okay?
Questi benissimo li puoi anche congelare, eh?
Now
you can just freeze them.
And this is, what is it, like a 6-7 minute, 5 minutes, very quick fresh pasta, cooks very quickly. So what is the
actually
time?
Also less. Nonna, quanto tempo cuoce questa pasta?
Con 3 minuti cuoce.
3 minutes.
3.
We love our pasta really al dente. Really,
yeah,
al dente.
Me too. I do too. I enjoy it much.
Allora, Nicole, la nostra pumpkin, com'è?
Pumpkin,
vabbè. La nostra zucca.
La nostra pumpkin, like Nonna call it.
La vedi?
It's really creamy, so Nonna can really just, you can leave it diced, or you can just, mash it a little bit and make it creamier. In the meantime, the other ingredients that we need are ricotta, a little bit of black pepper, and olive oil.
It's very simple. Not a lot of ingredients at all. It's really
Nonna's recipe are always with just 4 or 5 ingredients, no more. Le ricette 2 Nonna sono sempre con pochissimi ingredienti.
Sì, no, a noi piace molto la cucina semplice.
Simple. You need to, the ingredients need to be good, of course, so you can really,
Cose semplici, naturali, fatte in casa.
And that's it.
Allora, ricotta.
We have half cup of ricotta cheese here. We add on top a little bit of black pepper because we like it. Because we like it, and believe me, ricotta with black pepper is really good. Nonna is always a little bit too generous with black pepper, but no worries. Okay.
Un gocciolino di olio.
And then a little bit of olive oil. Now, after the onion, I think that I'm gonna with black pepper. Just a little bit, just a drop of olive oil. She mixes everything, and the ricotta is ready for our pasta. We don't cook ricotta. We just gently put hot pasta on top of ricotta, and that way it will become creamy.
Io qui il sale non l'ho messo perché l'ho messo già nella zucca.
She didn't add any salt in the ricotta because it's already savory, of course, and we added salt in the pumpkin, so no need to.
Mettiamo tutto insieme, giusto?
Sì. So when you mix ricotta with a little bit of olive oil and black pepper, you can gently add it on top of pumpkin. That's it.
Guarda che bella.
That's it.
That looks amazing.
And now tell me, are you ready to watch Nonna cooking pasta?
Yes, we're hungry.
You're hungry, right? Oh, we ship to you pasta, no worries.
And we just had breakfast. I mean, I'm ready to go here with this pasta dish. This is amazing.
For us, it's an afternoon snack.
Yes. For you, it's perfect. It's almost 5 o'clock. You're right on schedule there. Yeah, I mean, this is amazing.
Yes, but usually we have dinner at 8 p.m. 8
At 8
p.m.
p.m.
If it's
Too late.
yes warmer
later.
southern,
Allora,
Europe.
questa è la nostra crema.
Look at the cream that Nonna made in the meantime without
Wow.
us noticing. Perfetto. So
Il profumo è
ricotta,
speciale.
pumpkin, and the smell is amazing.
Adesso, senti a me, l'acqua bolle.
Water is rolling boiling. You can
Okay.
tell because you see a lot of steam and it's really rolling boiling.
L'acqua bolle, nonna mette un cucchiaio di sale grosso.
1 tablespoon of salt.
In the water.
Sea salt usually, yes. Rock salt.
But does she
for
add
salt.
olive oil as well? In the water?
Olive oil ce lo metti,
Sì,
nonna?
sì, perché la pasta è fresca.
Yes, but only because pasta is really fresh and it can
Okay.
stick together. Dry
Okay.
pasta won't need any olive oil. Just a
Okay.
drop. Just a drop.
Così. E a questo punto metto i lombrichelli.
And at this point, she can finally add lombrichelli. So,
Lombrichelli.
rolling boiling water, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 small drop of olive oil, and now all the pasta.
Facciamo una
Sì.
cosa, appena messi diamo subito una giratina.
As soon as you pour pasta in the boiling water, any type of pasta it is, dry or fresh, always stir it. Always stir it. So it won't stick.
And wooden spoon. Use a wooden spoon.
Yes, so
Yes.
we love wooden spoons. Yes,
Aspettiamo
yes.
poi che torna dalla.
Spoons, nice a wooden
Yeah.
fork. Now we
Mettiamo il
cover
coperchio.
the lid, the pot with the lid again. This is really important. If you want your water to boil fast, just cover it. Just cover it. It will, take less time, and it would be also more ecological.
Un'altra cosa vorrei dire a Nicole, la crema è bellissima, però siccome a me piace ancora un pochino più cremoso, ci metto un cucchiaio di acqua di cottura.
Nana is saying that the cream is already pretty creamy, but if you want it to be even creamier, and she's gonna do this, you can add a little bit of hot water from the pot.
Di cottura, eh?
It always helps with any kind of sauce you're making. If you think that it's a little bit too thick, you can always add a little bit of boiling water.
Yeah, a lot of people, they talk about adding the pasta water because it has the pasta, like you use the
It has
pasta
the
water.
starch in it,
yeah.
yes. It's always more useful because, the pasta, we release a little bit of starch, so it will be already creamy by itself when you mix it with other ingredients. But if you use pasta water, yes, your sauce will be super creamy for sure. Yes.
Yeah, I could smell it from here.
La posso sentire da lì.
Che dicevi?
La posso sentire da lì quanto è buona.
Adesso i miei lombrichelli stanno venendo a galla.
The lombrichelli now are floating. They started floating. So imagine that, more than counting minutes, making pasta to make pasta and to be sure that it's ready.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Look at it. So lombrichelli are floating. Water is back to boiling and we're ready to take them out. If you like it al dente, as soon as pasta floats, take it out. Especially this kind of pasta.
And we like to add it right to the saucepan as opposed to putting the saucepan over the pasta.
Yes. This kind of sauce requires for a little bit of toasting.
With a little bit, okay.
Of course. Yes. So she's grabbing pasta and she's pouring it directly in the frying pan. The heat is again on medium heat under the frying pan. See?
Yeah.
And now she's mixing everything together. Nonna won't toast because she's, dimmi, she's afraid of it.
I bravi chef vanno di questo, cavalella.
She's saying the same things. I mean, if you're brave enough, toss it, of course. She's afraid of it. She won't do this.
Right,
Mix.
No, non se la può rischiare, capito?
Nonna is really afraid, burning herself.
No.
And that's it, you just mix. You don't need to cook nothing anymore. So really, you just need to mix everything together. And ta-da!
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh.
Wow.
This is so creamy. And I want to describe to you the smell. It smells like heaven.
It looks
really
unbelievable.
Oh. Guarda che belli.
It's really, really good.
Wow.
Of course, now,
Che ci mettiamo sopra?
what we need to add more on top. Being Italian, we're going to add more cheese.
A little bit. Okay, yeah.
So, we grate Parmigiano. Parmigiano will always give, an extra flavor to all your pasta, of course. If you eat cheese, this is really, really good.
And you use the Parmesan as opposed to the Pecorino Romano. You prefer the Parmesan.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this case, yes, Parmigiano if you want a sweeter result. Pecorino when you want something to be a little bit more salty and savory.
Guarda che bello.
And
Che ti dispiace, ci
ta-da!
mettono a buttare le pepe.
Nana is saying she's adding more pepper so we
Dai,
can, you know,
su,
so we can cheer
approfittiamo.
together, you know, by drinking a little bit together.
Approfittiamo, abbiamo il prosecco da bere. Guarda,
And here it is. Ta-da! Nonna, prendili, fagli vedere. Ta-da!
Nicole,
Manja. Amazing.
Mangia!
adesso vado a
Oh my
assaggiare.
God. Let's have,
And
let's
the office-
salute. We salute. We should have a
Eccola.
glass of wine and salute them.
Ti è pulita, no?
I'm the official taster.
That's
Oh,
some,
yeah.
I would like to be the official taster. That's some job right there. I would like to, where do I sign up? Like to be the
Perché il mio è un
official
bel lavoro.
taster.
Certo.
That's a
This
good
is
one.
perfect. This is
Sign me up.
perfect.
Wow.
You must try.
Buono,
You must
buono,
try.
buono.
Yes, buono, buono.
Buono.
So Nana was saying, why don't we cheer together? Maybe you cheer with coffee.
Certo,
Okay,
facciamo-
because it's a little bit early for you. Mm?
Facciamo un brindisi.
Let's celebrate
Yeah.
together, you know, this class. Mm?
Nicole, ti volevo far vedere. Tu si può dare il tour, mai chiedato.
Certo.
Ti volevo far vedere le mie ciambelline. Guarda.
Nonna, just for you, made also a little ciambelline.
Con che l'ho fatte? Con l'olio.
These biscuits, big ones with the donut shape, they're made with fresh olive
Senti
oil.
che profuma, nonna.
They're so good. They're sweet. They're gonna go after the pasta.
Queste si chiamano ciambelline magre perché non ci sono le uova, però c'è un litro d'olio.
She's saying we call them
Ecco.
lean ciambelle, ciambelline magre, because there is no eggs in it. No eggs at
Yeah.
all. There are no eggs. But a lot of olive oil, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of olive oil.
And
La prossima volta, se volete, facciamo le ciambelline che sono buonissime.
Next time we can make together ciambelline. Why not? Hmm?
Yeah, I
Next
mean,
time
it
to
looks,
serve.
and what do you use? Is that just like, just a bread that you do? Like is it a morning bread? Is it just always with a dish? It's anything.
You know, usually non ho detto che ci facciamo con le ciambelline. Allora,
Allora, Nicole,
ciambelline, you can pour it in milk for breakfast, of
la
course.
mattina con
Mhm.
latte.
But non as another, you know, special occasion to eat them. Come
Ah,
mangi voi?
allora, la mattina con il latte. A mezzogiorno.
Look at that.
A mezzogiorno, dopo mangiato, me ne mangio una con un bicchiere di vino. E
So
vai.
in the morning with milk, but after lunch and after dinner, we love them poured in red wine.
E
Red
vai.
wine.
Mm.
It is
That-
really good.
Poi, verso le 5 a merenda, con un bicchiere di tè.
Or otherwise, of course, at 5 p.m., you know, English style, just in a cup of tea. Mm?
Con
Yeah.
tè.
And is it
They're really
soft?
versatile.
It's soft? It's a very
No,
soft.
they're really
like-
crunchy.
Ah,
Oh,
mia
crunchy.
nonna.
Crunchy.
Oh, oh, like a biscuit, like really, yeah. I bet
Oh,
you know
that's-
she makes an amazing tiramisu also, right? Does she make a good?
Yeah,
dessert?
non è pure un
tiramisu?
meraviglioso
Ah,
tiramisù.
quello sì, quello
Of course,
quello
of
sì,
course.
quello sì.
That's my fave.
So the biscuit like, that's why we pour them, we dip them
Ma
mostly.
queste
With
mi
the-
piacciono molto perché una volta che le hai fatte, se le conservi bene, fino a 2 mesi ti bastano queste.
These, you know, are amazing because since there are no eggs in it, if you well preserve them, you can eat them till, you know, 2 months after.
Sì.
They're dry biscuits, so
Right.
you can really, you know, use
So
them
like
for
a
long-
biscotti in a sense, the way we call biscotti. I mean, they're different shapes.
Biscotti, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Ciambelline magre proprio si chiamano.
I think that Italians are one of the most consumers, you know,
Yeah.
of biscotti in the world because we
Sì.
eat it every morning. For a breakfast, it's really, you know, sweet and
Yeah.
small, just
Yeah.
milk and a lot of biscuits.
A chi piace ci può mettere anche l'anice nell'impasto.
Oh, it's really good if you like. You can add to these, you know, small ciambellini also anise.
Anice, buonissime.
Really, really
Yeah.
good.
Buone, buone, buone.
So, are you ready to cheers, everybody?
Yes,
Take your
yes.
coffee.
Siamo pronti?
Take your water. I don't know what you're drinking since it's early. So, everybody, salute!
Salute!
Salute, cheers. That translates in a lot of health to
Salute.
all of us.
Salute, come si fa così?
Like
Così,
this.
Oh, look at
così.
this.
Mm.
I love
This
it.
is for good luck. Good luck.
E noi per te
Yes.
diamo tutte le mosse.
Wow.
So, do you have any more questions?
Does
I
anybody
saw
have
that
any
Marina
more?
answered to many questions on the chat, so wonderful because I missed some of them.
Let's
tell me if you have any questions.
let's open it up for a second. Does anybody want to ask any question to or say anything on mic? Oh, Mariana, go ahead if you want to unmute. Hold on.
Yeah, I tried the version of this recipe, but I use linguine. So
Ah, brava!
Wow.
I went to my-
Brava! L'ha
I went
fatta
to
la
my-
pasta, Marianne.
Brava,
Let's see it,
On top of the
Mariana.
linguine.
Hold it up. Let's see.
Let's see. Can you see it?
Wow, look at that.
It's beautiful. Brava, brava. Now, Mariana, you must tell us. Do you like it?
Yes, yes, very
Ti
much.
piace,
I
nonna?
Vai, Marianna.
Brava,
amazing.
brava.
I
went
love
to my
it.
Mission
Italian
accomplished.
grocer,
Senti un po'.
and I went to my Italian grocer and I asked him about it and how to do it. And he also had a sauce also with it. I didn't make the pasta from scratch, you know.
Yeah.
Bello.
That's too much for me right now. But I tried the sauce. It came out well. Came out well.
I can't wait
Bravissima,
to make it
bravissima.
myself.
La pasta è comprata, però il sughetto l'ha fatto
sughetto,
lei.
brava,
Bravissima.
brava.
We're really proud of you. Brava Mariana.
Perché siamo troppo lontani, se no non avevo portato biscottini.
Because we're too far away, otherwise Nonna would bring ciambelline to all of you.
Oh, believe me, we would be knocking at that door if we were right there.
Yes,
We
you
all want a
must.
plate.
You must. If it ever happens that you come here, or any chance, come here and visit us. Please, knock on Nonna's
Definitely.
door. Mm?
Che ha detto? Ni?
Veniteci a trovare, io ho detto.
Sì. Senti un po', una bella idea, perché ci facciamo una bella piccia, nonna?
Oh, let's take a picture together.
Okay.
Would you like?
Yeah, sure.
Tu coi cosi, io con la ciambellina.
Nonna with ciambellina and I with pasta.
Mica pasta, con tutto. Di che c'è l'album, diglielo.
So Nonna is saying that she loves, printing all the pictures she has with all of you. She has an album. She she just, loves them. So are you ready, everybody?
Yeah.
Pronti?
So let's smile. 1, 2, 3, say Nonna.
Oh.
Nonna.
Bene.
Bravissimi.
Amazing.
Bellissimi. Oh, in the meantime, I want to tell you that we left in the Zoom chat all our contacts. If you want to follow us, on our social media, if you want to check, our website, everything is there. If now you love with Italian cuisine, please follow us and subscribe. We make a whole Italian meal, appetizer, first course, second course, dessert. We're gonna cook a lot.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come up with a
video.
menu and do some maybe some meatballs or some lasagna.
Of course, le polpette dobbiamo fare.
buonissime.
Nonna is really wonderful at making
Buonissime.
polpette. Yes, of course.
Yeah, we gotta think maybe at a dessert. Maybe she'll share us her secret tiramisu dessert.
Secret tiramisu dessert,
Yeah.
and she said she wants to make not only meatballs but also the meatloaf. She loves doing all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so yeah, we're definitely gonna look forward to that.